Welcome to Knowing is Growing. This section asks teachers to share a snippet of a strategy or process they use in their classrooms. These processes and lessons are not endorsed by the district. Instead, they're meant to be inspirational and motivational pieces to share what's happening in other classrooms across our wonderful district. Let's take a glimpse inside a few classrooms to see some strategies and processes that are working for others and might inspire and motivate you.
Hi, I'm Mrs. Greco. I'm a high school math teacher. I flipped out my calculus class. Come on in and I'll tell you about it. A flipped classroom is where the students get the notes at home instead of in a traditional classroom setting. I use YouTube as my channel to the students at home. So they get the notes online and then they come in the next day and we do the math work together. They all sit in little groups and they can all work on the math individually, and if they need help, I'm there to help them.
I think it's helpful to me because I learn more from it. I personally like doing work with groups because they can explain it to me when I don't understand something and I can help them out as well.
What I've seen in results are definitely higher scores. Definitely they are understanding it more. They can remember it later on. Whereas before, sometimes kids memorize so much before the test and then they take the test and then all that information's gone. I'm seeing, when I get to chapter 2 or chapter 3, I can pull back a concept from chapter 1 and they remember it. They actually learned it. It's not just about memorizing it and moving on. They actually know it.
We take notes on it at home and we come in and we're able to get our work done. And also at home, we have as much time as we want to learn the lesson. And if we didn't understand something, we can go back, rewind the video, try to clarify it.
So a flipped classroom is a great alternative to the traditional classroom. Your classroom will come to life. Students own their learning now. They actually are in charge of it. They will manage how much they're learning, how fast they're learning, or at what pace they're learning. So it's really fun to see the students take control over that and help each other out. It's really nice to see the students helping each other out if I'm not able to get to that group and help them.
Hi, my name is Juliana Mione and I'm a first grade teacher, and I'm here to show you how I do my rotations in my classroom. So for our rotations, we are an L300 school, so we have to make sure that we get our guided reading groups in for the first hour of the school day. And so we have to make sure that that time is used wisely and efficiently. So I'm making sure that the students are able to identify their letters and sounds, that they are able to read and write their sight words, and moving through to their book levels to make sure that we get them up to grade level or push them past to where, they need to be. When the students are on the computers for this rotation, they are on iStation, which is helping them to progress with their reading skills. They're learning their letters and sounds, and it evaluates them on what they know. They get an assessment at the beginning of every month. I have to be very consistent at the beginning of the year, making sure that they know how I expect them to be sitting in their chair when they're at their centers, how I expect their voice levels to be when they're sitting doing their centers, how I expect them to be when they're at computers, just so that they know that this is time for learning and it's not time to be socializing or playing. I use the smartboard to help the kids get a visual clue of what's going on and where they're supposed to be and how long they have left. Time is kind of not an easy concept for them. On the smartboard, I have the different centers written up there, writing, word work, independent reading, and what they're supposed to be doing for that day next to it. We need to make sure that the students know the process and expectations for every part of rotations and every center, even as far as how do we sit in a chair, where do we go for our pencils, where is our writing paper, where do I sit at my computer, do I talk to my neighbors, do I not talk to my neighbors. It's very explicit so that I don't have to be pulled to explain, to intervene with them. They can help each other out. First, they can problem solve with each other to make sure that our time is efficient and not wasted during small group time.
Thanks for joining us. I hope you benefited from tuning in. We'll be covering more hot topics requested by our teachers in the Why of Teaching series. If you want more information about the videos that you've seen in this show, you can log on to newsroom.pcsb.org. If you'd like to suggest a topic or share a strategy, you can email the Strategic Communications Department at news@pcsb.org. It's been a pleasure being your host this evening. Have a great night, and as Nelson Mandela said, remember, a life without passion is a life not worth living.